Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bass University Live. This is where you're going to go to learn how to be a better bass angler. It's amazing. Every time we do one of these, Rich, we all level up our fishing game. I think today is going to be no different with Hayden Marbut coming in, lighting it on fire out there on the Toyota Series this year.
Yeah, momentum is a huge thing in the sport of fishing, and this guy we have on today is certainly carrying some momentum, not only in the Toyota Series, but pretty much in every aspect of his competitive fishing. He's succeeding and really seems to be at the top of his game. So I'm excited to talk to him. He's on the front side of a lot of things as far as technology goes, and there's some tricks and some nuances that he's certainly putting to work, and I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah, we're gonna dive in. He might be the new king of Lake Wheeler. Who knows? Who knows? Won at Guntersville this year as well. Guys, we got so much going on at Bass U. It's the holidays. What a great gift Bass University makes for anybody that wants to learn and grow in fishing. And let's bring Jocelyn and Justin both into the show, because we got a lot of stuff going on right now. Hey guys, Justin, what's the promotion? What do we got running right now for new subscribers?
We got a $99 annual deal going on right now. It is it's our holiday mystery box. So you sign up for Bass U and you get a box of baits, gear worth up to $50 sent to you, and it's kind of like a surprise.
It's such an awesome Christmas gift to yourself, for anybody that that loves to fish. So go check it out. It's a great time of year to get signed up. We get a lot of subscribers. Welcome all you guys that subscribed last year and the year before. So many people take advantage of that holiday special. So glad to have you. And Jocelyn, we're going to be on site. We have class starting pretty soon.
We do. We actually. Oh my goodness! Tomorrow will be a month until we're in Athens, Texas. So
already
get your tickets. We have a few people sign their contracts today, so I don't know if we want to announce any of them.
I would love to.
Well, Matty Wong signed his contract, and he'll be in Texas.
Excellent.
We have for Anderson, Brian Thrift, Kyle Patrick, Gerald Swindle, Matt Airy.
Hunter Shyrock.
And Hunter Shyrock. And Fletcher Shyrock.
A lot of good numbers.
Yep, that's
a lot.
Well done, Jocelyn. Glad to have all those guys. A lot of returning amazing speakers and super popular speakers with us this year. Matty Wong, real popular out in Texas. He was with us last year, an amazing teacher. Glad to have him with us. And our fan favorite of all times, G-Man, is going to be with us in South Carolina this year. So get a ticket, come on out and hang with us in the nasty weather in January, and we'll have fun talking fishing, telling lies, and get over to bassu.tv, get yourself signed up, get your tickets, get subscribed, and we're going to be giving away a cool prize to one of our subscribers today later on in the show. So we appreciate all you guys being with us, guys, and man, it's going to be a great season, and I'm excited about the show because we've got a young angler that is just absolutely tearing it up, and he just won, $250,000 just about at the Toyota Championship, and very excited to have him with us today. So let's go ahead and bring him into the show, Justin. We've got Hayden Marbut, just an amazing year, 2 monster wins. Are you on cloud nine? Are you still flying high? It's got to feel so good.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. It's really hard to wrap your mind around, honestly. Just like growing up fishing so much, and fishing every day the last several years, and for it to pay off the way it did this year. My first year fishing the Toyotas, it's been incredible.
That is amazing. First year, rookie season out there on the Toyotas. You came from Auburn, so you've been doing a lot of bass fishing for the last several years. That's exciting, jumping into the Toyota Series this year. But how was your ride at Auburn?
Oh, it was great. I had a blast while I was at Auburn. It was we had a really good group of guys down there and a lot of different guys from all over the country. So it was super cool just to, network with them and fish around the country, travel with them, kind of learn the ropes a little bit more traveling. And then even with Auburn being a student ran team, we got to learn the business side of the industry as well. And then just throughout college fishing, I was able to make so many new friends and connections in the industry and stuff like that. So it was great.
That is great. We see the guys from Auburn at the Classic every year. You guys always stop by. It's very cool. And the one of the guys, one of my buddies that goes to Montevello, they have the boat yard at their school, and he says hands down that's where it goes down, man. That's where all the information is exchanged, where all the learning takes place. Do you guys have a place like that where you guys all get together and just swap stories and share ideas?
Not necessarily. Being a student ran team, we didn't have anywhere for everyone to store the boats, but me and my buddy Tucker Smith and Sam Harvey, our other buddy, we all lived together. We had a house off campus that we all lived together at, and everybody would always be stopping by there, and we'd keep everyone's boats there just so people wouldn't have to go to storage units. So we'd always have, several boats there and people always stopping by. So that was always a pretty popular spot to talk fishing.
Yeah, that's awesome that you had that, and I wish we had it. Of course, we all love the new programs that are out there, and you made the transition, man. It's that's pretty interesting stuff where you jumped in the Toyotas this year, and you come out of the gate with a pretty darn early win, a very, very impressive win on Guntersville earlier this year. That was early season. What was that, February or March this year?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was the first Central Division tournament of the year.
Okay, man, I looked at some of those weights and they were pretty impressive. You were putting mid to upper 20s together at that event. It looks like you had 25, 22 on day 2 and day 3. Well, shoot, 22 on day 1. And that was a consistent heck of a finish. How did that go down for you? Were you scoping on that one? Was it a similar strategy?
Yeah, I was using live scope majority of the time, but I was also, fishing the grass, just popular normal Guntersville things, rattle trap, chatterbait, stuff like that a little bit more earlier in the week. And once those fish got pressured, I moved more to the more nomadic live scope fish.
Yeah, that was a dominant win. That's great. But then you get to this one, man, it's Lake Wheeler, because you live on or near Guntersville now? Where is?
Yep. I live in Grant, so I live literally 5 minutes from the boat ramp.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
What's going on down there, man? That place is everywhere I look, somebody's fishing again on Guntersville. It seems to, with all that fishing pressure, it just seems to keep delivering,
Yeah, there's been a large year class of fish. We've everyone that's fished out here has watched kind of grow up the last several years, really since COVID and around that 2020, 2021 mark, you had a lot of 3-pounders, and, the last 3 years they've just grown to where they're all starting to be 5- and 6-pounders. And, it's really starting to show out right now. Hopefully we can take care of it, and nothing bad happens where they try to kill the grass or we start having too many tournaments and stuff like that. Cause it is getting a lot of pressure right now, but, Guntersville stood the test of time for a long time now, but it does go up and down. And right now it seems like it's, in that upward trend, and hopefully it stays like this for a while.
Man, being 5 minutes from there, pretty awesome. Are you taking advantage of that? Are you fishing every day? Is that part of your training?
Yeah, I'm actually at the lake right now. My boat's sitting down there. It just started sprinkling, so I came up to the truck and got back in the truck to do this.
Oh my goodness, that's I appreciate the sacrifice, because I don't know if I can do it.
No, yeah.
Banks of Guntersville right now.
There's no surprises with the success. It's like Hayden. I told Pete and Justin leading up to this that every time I've reached out to them, I hear back, right around whatever time the sun goes down, and the reason is because you're on the water all day, and it's no surprise there to see success because you're putting in the time.
Yeah, no doubt. I try to fish every single day. I mean, I don't do anything else. I'm out of school now, so this is what I'm trying to do full time and really pursue it. And you know, the only way to get better is to be on the water every day. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Man, that's well, you got a little bit of a bankroll now to help you keep doing that for a while. So that's
no doubt.
that's pretty cool. The when you practice, like you know, going fishing every day, do you have like strategies? Do you like go, all right, well, today I'm going to work on, you know, whatever it may be, or you know, I'm a little weak in this area, I want to shore that up, or do you just kind of go and find fish, try to catch them? What's your daily routine to try to get better look like?
You know, there's definitely some days I'll come out here and work on specific things and just do different things. With Guntersville being such a diverse lake, you can do a lot of different things. But there's definitely some other days where I just want to come out here and beat on them. But you know, you can't always just beat on them, because especially out here, people will see you and it's bad. There's some pirates out here. You got to be careful. But I try to go to different lakes a lot. You know, I spent a lot of time back before Wheeler, you know, in pre-practice on Wheeler, and then, you know, I was going to go to Smith Lake today. I just try to bounce around and hit a couple different lakes, but I spend the majority of my time out here on Guntersville and just trying to learn every little thing I can. You know, with winning that Toyota championship, I knew that I had to win to make Redcrest out here. So I'm just trying to, you know, put together a lot of different things. And I've been thinking a lot about, you know, how I want to attack Redcrest and stuff like that, with it being, you know, one period with live scope. So definitely a lot of different things to work on and a lot of different things to keep in your back pocket and just keep honest.
That's what a cool deal to be able to qualify for the Redcrest. And Rich and I were talking, you made another tournament, right? There's like another $500,000 tournament going on Guntersville that you qualified for too.
Yep. The Unified Pros, it's the Ultimate Angler World Championship. The state of Alabama came on really big this year, you know, and they're making it a really big deal. And they're taking the highest finisher from a lot of different tournaments. You know, I know the Opens, the Elites, all the MLF stuff, some ABAs and stuff like that. And they're just going to form together a big tournament of a bunch of dang good fishermen and let them shoot it out for $500,000 out here on Guntersville.
Man, that's going to be another great tournament in your, coming up for you. What an awesome deal with all that confidence coming off of Guntersville and now coming off of Lake Wheeler. Did you have a lot of experience on Wheeler before you won the championship there?
No. So I've got a lot of experience just on the Tennessee River in general. And I know last time I was on Bass U with you guys, we talked about Pickwick after me and Tucker won the college national championship. And so I spent a lot of time on just the whole Tennessee River in general. But Wheeler was like the one place I've never really spent time at. Like I've fished a lot on every Tennessee River lake except Wheeler. I went there one time when I was in high school, you know, and fished like a high school tournament in like 8th or 9th grade. And then I went there for 2 days and fished, you know, I think like my sophomore year of college. So, you know, I had like 3 or 4 days on the lake ever until pre-practice. And I pre-practiced like 8 days, daylight to dark, the last 8 days before it went off limits. And that was really, you know, that was definitely a lot of pre-practice. I knew, you know, living 30 or 40 minutes from there, this was like one of the rare big tournaments I had the opportunity to have, you know, a home field advantage. So I wanted to try to make myself as local and as familiar with the fishery as I could.
Well, time well spent. You know, and I looked into the patterns a little bit. I watched some of your stuff. I watched you fish it, but the flats were, you know, I mean, that's notorious. What's it, the Decatur flats, right?
Yep.
Did they play into the tournament? I mean, most, I guess, depending on the time of year, they're always a factor, but everybody kind of picks the Decatur flats. That's where it's going to be won, but it didn't happen that way.
No, I know there was, you know, a guy or two in the top 10 that was fishing the flats, maybe 2 or maybe 3 or 4. I'm not exactly sure, but I tried the whole Decatur flats deal and I just couldn't figure it out, and it just didn't make as much sense to me with it being the fall time. You know, they draw the water down some and it's so shallow up there on those flats. You know, it just didn't seem like it was going to set up right for me. And I tried really hard, you know, 2 full days in pre-practice to make that work, and I just couldn't ever figure it out.
Yeah, well, it's I guess different time of year it could play, but I liked what you were talking about, you know, and how you won it. It seemed like a big channel turns. You were scoping, but there was a lot of strategy on where to put your boat. You know what I mean? You didn't look like it was just random out in the middle, you know, looking for blobs. You had a strategy to get those fish located.
Yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of it's current driven. The whole Tennessee River, you know, ledge season, everything out here really has to do with current. So it was anywhere, you know, there's a swing, you know, or
Yeah.
a big point or anything like that where bait can wash up. Just it's literally the most obvious places on the lake, like just really high percentage places. And there was a lot of people doing it too, and I was really honestly surprised it held up for 3 days. As many people that were running a lot of the same areas as me.
Yeah, that is surprising. You know, I saw where a lot of people were down by the dam. You seem to locate yourself a little up further near the elk. Well, it was crowded there too.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as crowded as down the lake, or I don't know. It kind of was, honestly, but I had my best days of pre-practice and practice down there by the dam, and just those. It was a lot clearer water down there. The elk, I kind of focused more around the Elk River area, and those had some more stained water coming out of it. Those fish down there around the dam area, there's not a ton of spawning ground down there, so didn't seem to me like there's quite as many fish, and also it's just so clear down there. They got super smart in practice. You know, we had like super strong winds 2 of the 3 days of practice, so a lot of that stuff down there I'd fished and like caught some fish off of was getting pretty beat up, and those fish got super smart down there. I think I weighed like 1 or 2 fish down there the first day, but other than that, it got super tough on me down the lake.
That's and you know what was interesting to me is, man, I didn't expect smallmouth to be such a big factor in that tournament.
Yeah, me either. I had no idea how many big smallmouth were in there, you know, until really I went out there in pre-practice. I've just never heard about as many big smallmouth out there as I never would have guessed how many were out there.
I mean, it was crazy. What was your day one bag? Like it looked like you were dominated by smallmouth.
Yeah, I had all smallmouth the first day. I had 20, 21 something. It was crazy. You know, there's a lot of 4 and 5, even 4 and 5 pound smallmouth. I even caught, you know, 1 over 6 1/4. I went back out there a couple weeks ago. Like, there's some really big smallmouth out there. There's not a ton though. They really disappeared as the week went on. You know, the ones that were out there were big down the lake, you know, but I think most of them live up the river.
Yeah, that's what an awesome stringer of smallmouth, and surprising, I think, for a lot of people. But you were on channel turns. When I saw a lot of the footage, you were close to the bank, you know, like almost bluffy looking areas.
Yep, for sure.
And what were they doing? Like what was it a current dependent situation, like, you know, like you would find on the ledges, or were you all day, or what was it like?
You know, they were just kind of roaming around on bait. You know, there's a lot of shad in those areas. It wasn't necessarily that they're, you know, positioned behind something to stay out of the current or anything like that. The current wasn't very strong down the lake. You know, it was just obvious places where bait would wash, you know, and like not even all the time current, you know, just wind blown stuff, just high percentage stuff where bait's getting blown against, and where, you know, a smallmouth or a largemouth can just pull up and feed really quick, and just high percentage areas, you know, just running a bunch of those and just trying to throw at as many fish as I could every day.
That's well, I saw you on day 5. I watched you fish a little bit, which was, you know, very cool. I know you guys had some rough conditions, but one of the things that stood out to me was you were identifying like the shallower those fish were. Those were the ones you wanted. They were the active ones.
Yeah, it was really just an efficiency thing in that tournament. Anything that was deeper than, you know, 15 or 20 foot, I would never throw. I tried to focus on those ones, you know, around that 10, 12-ish, 15 foot area, you know, the water column, just to be accurate and efficient and hitting them, you know, and presenting my bait right and everything like that.
Yeah. Rich, it was just crazy. I was, you know, the more I looked at it, Rich, he was like, those fish were moving. He had to chase them with that forward facing the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, they're constantly moving, you know, swimming through that bait, just trying to feed and everything like that.
Yeah, that's what take me through that process. Like when they were moving fast, like could you identify like a pattern? Like were they going into the current? Were they moving, you know, left, right? How were you able to stay with them?
They weren't really, you know, swimming against the current or with the current or anything like that. They were just kind of swimming through the bait, ambushing bait and stuff like that. So I just kind of, you know, had to move around a lot and look for them and try to predict which way they were swimming, because, you know, they're swimming through the bait so fast, you know, just looking left and right and trying to identify which way, you know, the head movement is and which way their tail is and everything like that, knowing which way they're swimming so I could lead them a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that with all that fishing pressure, man, it had to be tough. Like, you know, we were just down at Lake Lanier watching spotted bass there look at us like we were crazy when bait near them. Was it that tough? Was that fishing pressure really pinning them up?
Yeah, no, for sure. Wheeler doesn't really get nearly as much pressure as Guntersville or Pickwick or Chickamauga or any of the other Tennessee River lakes that you're seeing right now. But Wheeler had an Alabama Bass Trail 100 series while, you know, the week before while we were off limits, and then their tournament was our first day of practice. So that was another 100 anglers, you know, locals and stuff like that out there, which is a lot of pressure for Wheeler. And then, you know, we had 220-ish, 30-ish, 220 plus boats in our tournament out there practicing for 3 or 4 days and 3 days of the tournament. I mean, that lake was destroyed. When we went out there and filmed day 5, it was hard to get a bite. Like you didn't even see that many bass.
That's a lot of fishing pressure, man. Those fish they're getting fished for,
No doubt.
with the scope. But that's so let's dive in a little bit on the details, because one of the things I didn't really get a feel for when I was looking at your win was your bait selection. You know, it seemed were you using a lot of different sizes or color patterns, or what'd you dial in there?
I was using just several different 4 and 5 inch minnow baits. You know, Jighead minnow is the most popular technique in the country right now. So really just rotating baits, you know, and throwing a bunch of different baits and just trying to throw different baits at different fish and see what they were biting that day. You know, there was no particular one. I've rotated through several, you know, baby Z2, freeloader, stuff like that, and even downsized to some smaller baits, you know, throughout the week, just from them seeing so many, you know, 4-inch baits. I feel like that's the most popular size people throw. I even went down to a 3-inch bait the last day for a couple, but you know, you just had to rotate through a bunch of baits really, and different head sizes and stuff like that, depending on where they were in the water column.
Were you pretty light on your jig head, or were you trying to get down fast to them? What was your choice there?
Anywhere from, you know, mostly around a 1/4 ounce, 3/16 or a 1/4. But I had several more rigged up, you know. But the 3/16, really the 1/4 and the 3/16 were the two main players.
I got you. Well, I've noticed a lot of guys, or I'm hearing a lot about the longer baits. You know, I guess if they're around gizzard shad or some of those bigger bait fish, guys are really having a lot of success with the real big baits. But you went the other way. You downsized.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I stuck around that 4 and 5 inch style bait. Anything bigger than that's really probably pretty hard for some of those smallmouth to get in their mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. 6-pounder could get that in.
Yeah, no, 6-pounder definitely could, but I don't know. There's not a ton of 6-pounders out there, and I sure didn't see any in the tournament.
Oh man, that's an amazing catch, man. That a 6-pound smallmouth. When you caught that one recently, or when did that?
Yeah, I went back to Wheeler probably like a week after the tournament and just jumped in an evening tournament out there and caught it. It was the biggest smallmouth I've ever caught before.
Holy smokes. That is amazing. I mean, I know that they have a tendency to be long and thin on the Tennessee River, but that one might probably had some shoulders on it, I imagine.
No, yeah, it was built like a brick. It was huge. I honestly thought it was a largemouth whenever it first jumped.
That's very, very cool. So it's a great win. Now you were up against it, man. I mean, who would have thought Keith Poche would have gone out and caught a 27-pound bag on day 2? So, you know, you were chasing the leader at that point. So, how would take us through day 3? How did that go for you? I know there's usually a lot less current on those weekend days. Did that challenge you? What was your day 3 like?
It really wasn't that bad. You know, just whenever Keith Poche caught 27 pounds, I was a little bit nervous. You know, you just don't ever see that on Wheeler, but I knew he wasn't going to replicate it again. You know, I knew he wasn't going to have 27. You know, I figured he might have, you know, 18, 19 pounds. Just 27 is super hard to replicate out there. You don't ever hear about bags like that out there, you know, hardly even in the springtime. That's the only time you might hear one. And to catch it in November was incredible. And, honestly, riding back up the lake day 2, I knew I was going to have a 2-day total, around 40. And I was like, I thought I would hold on to the lead, to be honest with you. And I went in to weigh in, and Keith was right in front of me in line and drops 27. And then your day 1 leader walks up. He's got 19. Nobody even cares. I was like, well, if I got some work cut out for me tomorrow. But day 3 wasn't really too stressful. I just, I knew if I went out there and did my job, everything would line up, and just went out there and tried to catch as much as I can, and ended up catching 16 3/4, I think. And Keith struggled the final day. I think the water dropped in his area or something, he said, and it rose a little bit and spread the fish out.
Man, Rich, that's some mental toughness to be able to, eat a 27-pound bag, have that dropped on you. That's mental toughness to stay in the game.
Yeah, it's I mean, tell me, like, what was going through your head, Hayden, because there's a couple different directions you can go with that. Like you said, you knew 27 was going to be tough to replicate, but at the same time, I mean, if somebody goes out and catches 27 again, it's like what can you do other than just tip your hat? So, like, kind of how did you approach day 3 to get yourself back in the game?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't really get super stressed out fishing. It's more stressful sitting at home the night before, which I was honestly so tired it didn't even matter. But once I put my boat in the water and blasted off, I never thought about Keith all day, and I just knew, like, all I can do is all I can do. If he catches 25, even 20 plus pounds again tomorrow, then it's his time. I try not to worry about stuff like that. And when it's your time, it's your time, and just kind of put it all in God's hands and let it play out. And went out there and caught as much weight as I could and was able to pull it off.
I mean, that's so smart to think. Like you had mentioned earlier, like, it's an anomaly. 27 pounds that time of year. I mean, that's not going to happen again. That's a grand slam home run, and it's probably not going to happen the next day. So you just gotta just be steady, and you're going to likely jump back in that tournament, and you did, and that was the smart move. But it is intimidating when somebody comes in with a bag like that. You're like, oh my God, they're on them. They're going to be able to do it again. But that's too much. Great bag, Keith Poche, by the way. What a fantastic bag. But that was a great win, and your forward-facing skills are strong, like a lot of kids your age. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you. I'm just so old that everybody under 40 is a kid to me. But how did you get so good at it? What somebody watching this that wants to develop their skill set in that arena, what would you recommend they do?
Probably just go out there and force yourself to use it. I don't necessarily love it or hate it or anything like that, but I knew, like, it's just like several, 10, 15 years ago when side imaging came out, you saw the guys that were the most efficient with side imaging be the most dominant. And, I kind of knew with new technology coming out that, if I wanted to be dominant and compete in this sport for years to come, I had to be very, very good with the new technology. So when it came out, I got it, I didn't really start using it a ton really till, during probably COVID 2020 or so. And just kind of really, like, put my head down and just was like, this is what I'm going to learn. And this is what I got to do to compete. You don't necessarily have to do it to compete, but, to be super efficient across the country. And as young as I am, I was like, just knew I had a good chance to learn it. So I just put a lot of time in with it and tried to fish every day and just learn a lot of different little things about it.
Oh, you're using a 16-inch screen up there?
I am this year. Yeah, I just got one about let's see. I got one back in September, so I've had it for about 4 months now. I've always ran a 12 the last couple of years, and I actually had a 10 the first live scope I got with the LVS 32.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how big of an impact is that? Is that monumental as far as being able to separate things so much better, see things so much better?
Not really. I mean, it's good. It helps sometimes, I think it's nice just to have everything just bigger, you can just see it a little bit better, but it definitely took some getting used to coming from a 12. I honestly didn't love it at first. I like it now. I've gotten used to it and gotten comfortable with it, but every time you change electronics or something like that, it definitely has a little learning curve and some stuff you got to get used to with it.
Yeah, I imagine so. Just trying to figure out, is that a big fish or a little fish? It changes when you change from a 12-inch to a 16-inch. It's a different look.
Yeah, I would throw at some when I first got my 16 and be like, oh, that might be a bass, and it'd be like a crappie or something. It's like it looks so much bigger from what I'm used to. It's weird to get used to.
Yep. I see that. Now, of course, for someone like me, I love the giant screen. I can see so much better when they're big like that. But what about your settings? Are you doing anything interesting, anything unique there, or are you just out of the box?
Not really. I mean, I feel like everyone tries to overcomplicate the settings and act like you have to do all this crazy stuff just to, compete with everybody, and that people that are good with live skip have all these crazy settings, but I don't really change anything crazy. I just adjust the gain mostly, and, I just try to get comfortable with one, a distance out. I usually run it 90 or 100 feet out, and depending on what I'm doing, 20 to 40 feet down, and then sometimes on Highland reservoirs and stuff, you'll change up and, go further out and deeper and stuff like that. But for the most part, I keep it pretty standard, pretty stock, amber palette, stuff like that, like just a lot of the basic stuff.
Yeah. Well, do you do all your looking around? Are you on the trolling motor? Do you ever go on the outboard? Do you do any scoping like that at practice?
Yeah, no, I don't have any kind of forward-facing transducers off the jack plate or anything, but I use side imaging a lot. Scanning for bait and structure and just schools of fish and stuff like that, and then I'll put the troll motor down. When I feel like I'm in a good area or see something that looks fishy.
What's the key to reading the fish? I've done this a lot, and you throw at some fish, they'll chase it. You can play the cat and mouse where you're trying to pull it away from them, keeping it up above them. What have you learned about how to read those fish and trigger the strikes?
Yeah, that's kind of what's crazy is every fish is a little bit different. Just spending time and catching as many fish as you can with it and seeing how different fish react to different things. You just kind of have more of an instinct on what to do in certain situations when a fish, comes up behind your bait or starts to do something. You can usually you'll start to be able to tell, within 5 seconds of the fish seeing your bait if it's going to bite it or not. And usually, if he doesn't bite it, you can grill it away. You can usually tell. Some fish just aren't interested and aren't active, and then some fish will just shoot up there and eat it sometimes.
Do you chase them a lot, or do you just bail? Say, I'm just going to go hunt down another active one.
It really depends on the fishery. At Wheeler, some of the largemouth and the more stained water and stuff like that, I could throw at several times and chase them. But the smallmouth down the lake in the clear water, you kind of got one shot at them. If they saw your bait and you messed something up and didn't present it right, they weren't going to bite it.
Yeah. Well, it's a tricky little game, but it's a great win. Man, you won $300,000 this year. That's going to keep you fishing for a while, I think.
Yeah, it's been incredible. It's been life changing, really. I was so stoked when I won Guntersville. It was crazy. I didn't even know what $100,000 meant. I just couldn't even wrap my head around it. And now, after the Toyota Championship, it's just that much crazier, and it's going to help, push me to fish a couple more years and, just build confidence and help the financial side. This is an expensive sport. You got to have, a reliable truck, reliable boat, good equipment, electronics, everything else, pay entry fees, travel, and, that really helps a lot.
What's the first thing you bought?
I bought a truck after I won Guntersville, and then I paid my boat off after the Toyota Championship.
Oh man, heck yeah, that's awesome.
Other than that, I really haven't bought anything. I haven't bought anything except maybe some gas and some food and a little bit of tackle.
Well, that's good. That's good use, man, and that'll keep you at it a long time. Now you got the Redcrest coming up, and another chance to hit a home run on that. But what are you going to fish this year? Are you going to stay with the Toyotas, or are you going to move around somewhere else? What are you going to do?
Oh yeah, I'm going to stick around MLF this year. I finished second in the points in the Central points, so qualified for the invitationals. So I'll be fishing those next year. We got 6 invitationals, and then I've got a schedule lined up. obviously Redcrest, and I'm going to fish, I think 10 or 11 other Toyotas. I've got a calendar of just everything I can fit in and just trying to really fish as many tournaments as I can.
As every single one that's on the Tennessee River, I would advise.
Oh yeah, I won't miss those.
What's on the Tennessee this year? We know Guntersville's there.
Yeah, the whole entire central division of the Toyota series is actually on the Tennessee River, so I'm pretty fired up for that. We got a Pickwick, Chickamauga, and Guntersville, and then there's even an invitational at Pickwick. So 4 good Tennessee River tournaments plus Redcrest. I'm looking forward to it.
Man, that is set up for you, man. That's awesome. What about the Tennessee River? Like every one of those lakes, and kind of has its own personality.
Yep.
Yeah, you've won on Pickwick, you've won on Guntersville, and now you've won on Lake Wheeler. What's the difference between the three?
Pickwick and Guntersville, I would say, are more similar, and then Wheeler's kind of like just its own little lake. I feel like a lot of the Tennessee River is pretty similar. Wheeler's kind of different than all the rest of the Tennessee River, just the way it sets up. Like the bottom end's so deep, and bluffy and stuff like that. There's not quite as many ledges and stuff like that. And then, you get up around Decatur, it's all just a big flat. It's just really just like flats and river for like 15 miles, and then it just drops off and it's deep down there. And then you got the river that plays too. Wheeler's a lot different than Guntersville and Pickwick, where you have more ledges and creek channel ledges and everything like that.
And you got they're massive. They're all pretty darn big lakes, but Pickwick is just a monster. And is Pickwick is the grass growing there? Have they taken care of the grass? What's going on there?
Not really. There's not much grass in Pickwick right now. I think it might be coming back a little bit around the Trace Bridge and stuff like that. But from what I've seen, I don't think there's very much right now.
I got you. Well,
Kentucky Lake seems to be coming back pretty strong.
Yeah. Well, what have you heard? I've heard that too.
I've just been keeping up with all the tournaments out there, like the Bass Nation Team Championship. Like there was 2 25-pound bags of smallmouth and a lot of 20-pound bags. So that place is strong and alive again. I fished a college tournament out there this past spring when the smallmouth were spawning, and it was unbelievable how many fish were in there compared to 4 or 5 years ago when I went out there, and it seemed like a ghost town.
That's what I heard, because the Asian carp obviously are the big concern out there, and the information or the people that I talked to seem to say that the smallmouth are doing a heck of a job competing and thriving amongst those carp, and they're really doing good out there.
Oh yeah, there's still a bunch of carp. There's still a lot of carp out there though.
I've never been around them like that. Like, are they that many where they're still jumping, and you gotta dodge them when you're running up a creek and stuff?
Not I don't feel like it's quite that bad, but you'll see a lot on side image, and you'll just be idling in the river or idling down a ledge or something like that, and there'll just be hundreds of them everywhere.
How can you differentiate them from bass?
They're just a lot bigger, and they're like long and giant shadows and stuff like that. They're usually more suspended, and it just won't even look right. It'll cover your whole screen with just carp everywhere.
That's crazy. Will the bass get under them or around them, or will they?
Not that I've seen. As far as I've experienced, it seems like they try to stay away from the carp.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's great to see Kentucky coming back. I know it was, it had a hard couple of years, so it's exciting. Such a great lake. Great to see it come back. And, Pickwick's doing good, and, Guntersville is just on fire. So, and you're going to be at Chickamauga this year. Do you have a lot of experience there?
Yeah, I fished a Toyota Series last May out there and finished 6th or so. 5th or 6th.
Okay.
I like it out there. It's cool. It's got some giants. It's crazy.
Man, it sure does. And heck, my son fished the national championship out there this year, and the kids that won it had 3 fish for like 20 some odd pounds for a 3 fish tournament. It's nuts. They're huge there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's an awesome lake, and I hear Watts Bar is fishing a little better than it has in the last few years too. So Tennessee River's just alive and well.
No, yeah. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully everybody doesn't come destroy it. Hopefully we can take care of it.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys do too, and I look forward to getting down there and doing some fishing myself. But are you coming up this way? Are you coming up and doing any smallmouth fishing? Is the Invitationals got you going to a new body of water this year?
Yeah, the Invitationals are going to. We'll be in Virginia at the James River, and then also the St. Lawrence River to close the season, and the championships at La Crosse, and then I'm going to fish the whole northern division of the Toyotas as well.
Okay. You're gonna do a lot of traveling this year. Have you been up north? Have you fished those types of bodies of water before?
I've never been to Champlain or St. Lawrence River, anywhere like that. I've been to St. Clair and Saginaw Bay. Saginaw Bay for a college tournament, and I stayed up at St. Clair after that college tournament. But I'm probably gonna spend most of the summer up there this year and just try to gain as much experience as I can.
Rich, what a deal! Just spend the summer up fishing for smallmouth in the Great Lakes and stuff. What a deal!
Let's go. I'm in. Come on.
You got to come by here. So come by and pick us up.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pick y'all up.
We'd love that. Right after you get done the James River, look. The James is a fun river.
Oh yeah,
interesting stuff there. It's got the cypress trees, which is something I don't get a chance to fish very much, but that's a fun pattern down there.
Yeah, there's some big ones out there too. I fished a college tournament out there a couple of years ago, and it was super fun.
Yeah, that Chickahominy River, man, that's notorious for putting out giant fish.
Oh yeah,
the big old Florida strains.
Yep. There were several 20-pound bags when we were there. That's a good fishery. It's cool running the tide and everything like that. It's fun.
Yeah, it's what time of year are you going there?
I think we're going in June, I believe. I might be wrong, somewhere around there.
Okay, well that'll be good. You'll probably be post spawn, and because it gets crowded during the spawn down there. The fishermen all like to get in the same spots. So, yeah, the post spawn ought to spread both out for you. So that'll be a fun time. Champlain, if you've not been there before, that's going to be a treat, man. It's incredible. Like, we think, oh man, it can't get any better. And the last couple of tournaments, the weights just keep going up and up.
Oh yeah, no, that place seems incredible. I've got a bunch of buddies that have spent time out there and been up there, and I always hear it's incredible. I'm excited to experience it this year.
Yeah, it's really cool. The smallmouth were dominating, it seems, and in the recent tournaments there, the largemouth have really seemed to make a resurgence. So don't know which way it's going to go. That's the cool part about that lake is you really could, you could win it on greenfish, you can win it on brownfish. You don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're probably going to catch 30 or 40 a day of either kind you want to.
Well, if things go well, and it did go well for us, and we fished the Toyotas there last year, and it was going so well for me, catching so many fish that I decided to bring 6 fish to the scales on day one.
That's not good. You don't ever want to do that.
Have you ever made a mistake like that?
Yeah, I actually the college national championship, the Boat US national championship on Pickwick this year, I was fishing solo, and I ended up, I don't know how I did it, honestly. I got a school fired up at Pickwick, and I made a cast with 6 fish, and I had to call and turn myself in. It was funny. I realized like right after I made the cast, because I was thinking about it, I think I caught like a 4.5 pounder or something, and I'd just gotten like right over 20 pounds, and the penalty in the ACA college tournament was I had to throw back my biggest one, so it hurt, but it's part of it. It happens. I got in a rush, and it was my fault.
Man, that's a harsh penalty. That's what the penalty used to be on all the tours, was you got to throw your biggest fish back, but they've lightened that penalty now, where it's you got to call your smallest fish, but you take a 2-pound penalty. At least that's what I got hit with.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what it is in bass and MLF now. But honestly, it really didn't even hurt me terribly. It only cost me, I don't even know if it cost me 2 pounds. It probably cost me, 3/4 of a pound or something. So it wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
but it definitely taught me a lesson.
Yeah, no. I still don't know how it happened to me. Like I didn't realize I had 6 till I was putting them in the bag.
Golly,
it's just didn't even know it. But that'll happen on a place like Champlain because it happens fast. You can get into those flurries where you'll catch 3, 4, 5 in a row. On every cast, and I never made that mistake before, and that mistake has got me, questioning how I do my culling and how I prepare and stuff now. But
yeah.
But I saw you taking some precautions, and I like that, because we saw some guys DQ'd for blowing no wake zones this year or this and that. But you had I was reading where you had your run back all marked out so that you could make sure that you were going to, no matter where you were in the lake, you were going to be able to make it in on time.
Yeah, no. So yeah, in pre-practice at Wheeler, we went out of Ditto Landing, which is up the river, kind of towards Huntsville. And the run I was going to be making every day was 55-ish miles, and by the time I ran around, it was, 110 plus miles round trip, I think. And
wow.
I knew it was a haul and it was a lot of risk, but it was a high risk, high reward situation. And in pre-practice, I ran from the last day of practice. I ran 60 miles an hour because I was just trying to think like co-angler and everything else, and just have a little extra time from Ditto all the way to the dam and back, and marked every 10 minutes on my graph just so I knew exactly how far I would be. That's
so smart, man. Because that is a long boat ride, and so much could go wrong. So going to that level of effort is going to be important because, everybody sees the fish catches and it's all you got these great bags and you've done great tournament strategy, but it's those little details that make the big difference where you don't get penalized, and you make sure you're getting in on time. There's all those little details that go into winning tournaments that most people just don't even think about, especially if they're not tournament anglers,
Yeah, fish care and lake penalties and everything like that. It can cost you so much. I know, in the Toyota at Guntersville out here, if I'd had one dead fish in the tournament, I'd have lost the tournament. So many little things can happen, and you have to do so many different things, just to keep your fish alive. 1 4-ounce penalty could cost you a ton of money, or being late or anything like that. Just one miscalculation could cost so much. So definitely always try to watch after those things and control. I just try to control all the controllables, control everything I can, and not let any of those, stupid mistakes get me anymore. Especially after that time at Pickwick with making a cast with 6 fish, I've been really paying attention to them and trying to just make sure I do everything in my power not to screw up anything.
Yeah. Did you make any adjustments to your culling tags or something so you wouldn't do it anymore?
I just put. I always put them on cold tags, but I got the school fired up and I caught one. I was like, I won't cull him. I just didn't throw him on a cold tag because I've always just kept 5 cold tags in one side of the live well, and I'll keep my one if I need to beam them in the other side. So I haven't changed anything really. I just make sure I put them all on a cold tag, or if I don't put them on a cold tag, throw that cold tag in a compartment or something, so I know all the cold tags are in use. And I don't know. It was just a silly mistake. It happens though.
Yeah, sure enough. Well, then what do you do for your fish care? I know I see a lot of guys are using the pool noodles up on top. And, of course, I live and die by ice. It's made a big difference for me. What do you do?
Yeah, so I run pool noodles, and then, I use some Rejuvenate or G-Juice or something like that. And then a lot of ice. And then I also I've got a oxygen system set up where I've got an oxygen tank in my back compartment with a little regulator to a tube to an air stone. So I run that as well, and that seems to help a lot. Man,
you don't think, or a lot of guys don't think about it, but man, over the course of a season, suffering those dead fish penalties, they stack up, and taking measures to, number one, it's important to conserve the resource, and that's what. But from a money perspective and a points perspective, you can't afford to sleep on that.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's important stuff. Well, you've I mean, you got your head on straight. You got a nice bankroll now. I mean, we talked to you after you won Pickwick. We talked to you after you won these 2 tournaments this year. Man, the future's looking pretty bright for you. I gotta believe that you're gonna be in the winner's circle again real soon.
We're gonna try. Just gotta keep our heads down and keep fishing. I mean, you never know what could happen. You're only as good as your last tournament, so just try to stay on the water and try to get another one here in the next season or something.
Yep. Who are you running solo? Who or are you traveling with some of your boys? Who are you traveling with?
So for the Toyotas, I'll just kind of travel with any of my buddies that are fishing. I met a lot of people through college fishing, and then the Invitationals, Jacob Walker and I are going to travel together.
Awesome. Well, good deal. Well, it's going to be a great season. It's going to be a busy season, and that's exciting, man. It's going to be a nice 2025. I guess we'll look for you. When is the Redcrest? Is that in the summer? Is that coming up soon?
It's the first week of April.
First week of April. Okay. Wow. Is that going to be a spawning tournament?
It'll probably have something to do with spawn for sure. Yeah. That's kind of like one of the weird transition periods out here where there's a lot going on. It's kind of between the spring and they're not quite offshore yet. So, everything kind of around the spawn, you'll have some fish spawning actively and then some pre, some post, and everything like that.
I got you. Well, we'll be watching, man. We'll be rooting for you. If you're down at the Classic, make sure you come by and see us at the Bass booth. And man, I appreciate you being on the show. We'll just, we'll schedule every 6 months. We'll have you on to talk about another win.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get back on here pretty soon. We'll see.
Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations again on a great big win, and we look forward to seeing what you do here at these big derbies coming up.
Yes, thanks. Sir. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, you bet, man. Thanks for being with us, Hayden. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
You bet, man. What an amazing deal to come out with a big win on Guntersville and then win the championship in the same year. That's intense.
Yeah, confidence is a hell of a drug, Pete.
Whew.
He's got a lot of things rolling for him right now, and he's, like I said, he's putting in the time, he's putting in the effort, and it's definitely paying off for him. You can't argue with results and with work ethic. I mean, it's no joke. Every time I've reached out to him, he has been on the water every single day. So, it's there's no substitute for it, and that it just shows it.
Well, yeah, that's impressive stuff. And speaking of confidence, I know everybody probably saw it, but Humminbird had an amazing launch just yesterday. Got to check it out. The new Mega Live 2 and the Explorer sonar units are the real deal. Rich, you and I had a chance, man. We got to look at this stuff firsthand 3 weeks ago.
We did. It's very impressive. I'm happy for Humminbird that they were able to nail this new tech the way that they did. They took their time, they put a lot of effort into it, and definitely paid off. I mean, we saw the units, we saw the new technology firsthand when we were on Lake Lanier, and it seems like they're about out of the box, ready to go. And kudos to them. I'm sure that everybody's seeing the product release all over social media right now, but we can speak to it firsthand that it is very legit. They did well with this one.
My first experience with it, guys, I want to just give you my first impression as I'm so appreciative that, being, in the spot we get a chance to look at some of this stuff first. And I appreciate that we were able to look at this stuff first. And we were with Bill Lowen, and we were fishing back up in a creek, and there's a blowdown tree, and it's my first look. Bill puts his trolling motor in, and I'm sitting in the cockpit in the driver's seat, and his units are linked together. So I'm seeing what he's seeing up front, and watch his finesse jig as clear and what an amazing return. And there were no bass, right? There were no bass in that tree, but the crappie or the small bass that just came and I saw fish with clarity that I've just, I've not seen before. I was totally impressed with its capabilities right out of the gate, right? My very first impression. So it was awesome. And then my second biggest take on this, Rich, I know I probably sound like a broken record because you heard me say it a million times, was the speed and its effectiveness at tracking your bait. And that's so huge when you're talking about techniques like Hayden has just used to win on Lake Wheeler. Like being able to see the fish is one thing, but making that cast, anticipating the fish movement, and seeing your bait. And what was so fascinating to me was, Rich, when I would cast and I would make a bad cast because of wind or waves or whatever, and I'd miss my cone, but I could so quickly relocate that bait with my transducer. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, it's one thing, like you said, it's one thing to see the fish, but you got to be able to hit them. And, to hit them, you got to know where your bait is for sure.
Yeah.
I like my biggest takeaway, Pete. Well, one of my big takeaways from this, because there was a lot, seeing this new gear, is that they upgraded as far as the color palettes go as well. And I think, that's a big deal. I mean, everybody seems to have something different that they like to settle in on. A lot of guys like the amber, a lot of guys like the green, a lot of guys like the blue. And they really they stepped it up there to, make sure that everybody's eyes are going to be able to pick up what's on the screen efficiently. I was happy to see that as well.
And they're cool. I can't remember all the color palettes, but they're cool. Like Morning Dawn, or they had all kinds of really cool names for all of their different color palettes, which is very, very cool, guys. You got to go check that out. I want to give say what's up to Ivy and Al and Cladial Cast. Chris, Curtis, what's up? Steve, great to have you guys with us hanging out on today's show. Guys, we're going to be giving away a cool prize to one of our subscribers right after this. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to give away some stuff. We'll talk to you here in just a minute.
Welcome to Minnow King. How can I help you?
Everything looks good. I'm friggin' starving, man. Been spawning all morning.
Ugh, TMI, bro. What do you want?
I'll take a Crush City freeloader and gizzard shad.
Anything to drink.
Water.
Pull ahead, please. Welcome to Minnow King.
We're gonna have what he's had.
Yeah, throw me in a Ned BLT, too.
Pull ahead, please.
Calm down. Quit feeding so much.
Hey, man, I'm trying to, man.
If you overfeed him, he's gonna hide under a log.
Right here, AquaView, mandatory equipment in my boat. I say it all the time. The smallmouths hide in the cracks in the rocks, and just saw a little bit of the same kind of rock with the cracks in it, and I realized that I had to put a bait down there. You wouldn't, idle over them and see them on your screen. You had to put a bait down there and suck them out of the rock. So, AquaView, big assist on this one.
And outdoors Bassmaster Classic champion, Jeff.
Coffee. The angler's ritual. A reason to leave your cozy covers, even if you aren't headed to the river. We started Angler's Coffee because, well, we love to fish, we love coffee, and we care. Think of it as the rise before the rise.
Why do you love casting fishing rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA.
Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out there in the tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worming series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
on the water not spent fishing is a moment wasted. That's why Minn Kota and Humminbird joined forces to bring you the One Boat Network. Products that communicate and integrate to help you take full command of your boat. Born from our commitment to making the most advanced fishing gear even better by making it work together. The One Boat Network will help you find, get to, stay on, and catch more fish. When One Boat Network products talk to each other, they can navigate your boat automatically. They can give you a crystal clear view of what's below with no messy wires. And they can let you lower, raise, and change shallow water anchor modes from anywhere on the boat. But that's just the beginning. We're never done innovating, integrating, and making your boat simpler and easier to control. All so you can make every second on the water count.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm looking at Adrian's question about the pricing, and the pricing is new to me. We're just getting used to it. They run about $1,500 to $2,600 for these units. One of the cool part of the new Explorers is, and that's from a 9-inch to a 12-inch screen, is the mapping. The amazing Lake Master mapping and coastal mapping is included with these units. So that's a really big feature that you guys are going to like. What else is the waypoint management systems with that, and the One Boat Network is really next level. Being able to, one of the cool features is like lassoing a series of waypoints and being able to export them from your unit to your phone to so you can manage your points back and forth. You can move things around so easily. You can sit at home on your phone and work with the mapping and work with your waypoints and connect them to the unit. So they've really done a lot of advancements there, and their waypoints themselves, just the icons are just so much easier to see and work with. So they've done a lot of really cool stuff. I was really impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you jogged my memory with that as well, Pete. The waypoint management, that's a big deal on the new Explorer units. That's the efficiency on that unit to be able to store, log, put notes on waypoints. Big deal. That's another one. That's another aspect that they really knocked it out of the park with.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal for you. You have like 10,000 waypoints on the flats.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at it now, I mean, using the new unit, I would have saved hours and hours and hours of my fishing time, because it takes it from it taking 3 minutes to enter in a waypoint with the date and all the crazy stuff that I do out there. It just cuts that down so significantly. And I mean, that matters. That matters in a practice day. So, yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, we think you guys are going to like it. So go check out all of the new Humminbird products and check out Mega Live 2. It's exceptional. Man, we can't wait. We're going to be mobile pretty soon. I know you're going to be traveling to Texas a little bit before us, and we're going to be coming into Athens, Texas. So, Jocelyn, come on and tell us a little bit more about what's going on and how they can get their tickets right now.
Okay, right now you can go to bashu.tv or Bash University TV, and you can purchase your tickets to either Athens or Anderson. I do know that there are possibly only 5 rooms left at the Anderson Hotel, so if you're looking to go purchase your hotel right away. And
well,
yes, the seminar.
If the hotel fills up, we'll just send them to Jeff's house
with all the doggies. I'll go to Jeff's house with all the dogs.
Yeah. There you go. Shout out to Jeff Olson,
who is now an Anderson, South Carolina resident, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So the hotel's filling up. So get signed up there as quickly as you can.
Yep.
Excellent. And we have all the speakers that we have confirmed. You can check them out. They're all over there on Bash University or bashu.tv. Check it out. And we also have an amazing holiday offer for Bass University subscribers going on right now. And that's gonna continue for a few weeks. So take advantage of it. Just makes an amazing gift. It really, we put this program together to help you guys become better anglers by bringing guys like Hayden and the guys that are on the cutting edge, that are, our instructors, and they're teaching you how to do these things that they're really good at. So you can go out and do them yourself. That's what we want to do at Bass University.
What's really cool about this promotion too is that there is kind of like Willy Wonka's golden ticket. There's a golden box. So one lucky subscriber and one lucky new subscriber gets a golden box.
That's right. That's fun. That's so much fun. The lucky subscriber, well, we're going to pick somebody from our existing subscriber base, and they're going to win one. And new subscribers that enter now are going to have a chance to win one. What's in the box?
It's a surprise.
I
tell you, it is a really, really, really good box. That's probably worth more than what it's supposed to worth, but that's because I'm in charge of putting it together.
It's going to be packed, and
so anything in Rich's boat.
There you go.
Your choice.
Yep.
Just kidding.
We went through the whole Bass University inventory, and we loaded up this special box, 2 of them for you guys. And we're excited to be offering that to you guys here real soon. So that's really fun. Well, we have I just want to, I know I keep saying this because it was such an amazing year, but shout out to Craig Duran, the Eco Bass angler. I almost winning everything that there was to win in his club this year. Five Alive is one of the biggest clubs in really the country. And he won Lunker, he won their classic, he won a couple tournaments in the process. What a great year, Craig. Congratulations again. And as in addition, we had a winner that over there that won, and he is a subscriber already to Bass University, but he won another year at the banquet. Jocelyn.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Looking sharp with your Bass U hat. We got a sub of the week, Justin?
Sir, yes, sir. Sub of the week this week is our main man CJ sent over this picture, says favorite thing to do while rigging up tackle in the Skeeter. Just watching some Bass U on the iPad. Look at that setup right there.
That's sweet.
It's legit.
Dude, that's awesome.
So,
I mean, that's it, right? Everybody watches either on the way to the tournament if they did poorly, they watch on the way home from the tournament. But they watch it in the garage, and that's so cool. That's the normal place. That's the places where people love to consume Bass University. So we appreciate you guys. Appreciate the subscriber of the week. And do we have a prize pack that we're giving away today?
Crush City prize pack.
Is that who gets that? I'm confused.
Some random subscriber.
A random subscriber. All right. Well, we'll post who wins. We do that every week, guys. We give away a great prize pack to one of our subscribers at Bass University, and we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys being part of the program. Go check out on the website. Go over to the members benefits, and there's a lot of great opportunities to buy amazing products, especially right now, like AquaView, Angler's Coffee, which we're all drinking, largemouth blends, way to go. The as well as there's some great opportunities there with Rapala and VMC and Storm. You can go check all that stuff out at Bass University members benefits. What else is over there?
Well, Cash and Rods is doing their end of the year sale right now, so I would head over to Cash and Rods ASAP before they're all gone.
Excellent. Their BFS rod is one of their best sellers, guys. If you're into that, we just released from Mike Iaconelli his system for BFS fishing with micro lures. I know the Cash and Fishing rod is the #1 selling rod for them, so they built a really good one. All their rods are fantastic. The icons are are the top of the line, and the John Crew Signature Series I use an awful lot of. So go check them out. They also make an amazing Christmas gift. So go check that out. Do all your Christmas shopping at the members benefits at Bash University. Guys, what else? Did we cover all our bases? Thumbs up from Jocelyn. That must be that's a hard yes. So I appreciate all you guys, and appreciate everybody watching. Hayden, thank you so much for being with us at Bash University, and congratulations on 2 amazing wins this year. And we'll probably be talking to them again in a couple months with another one, guys. And I look forward to seeing everybody here next week in another episode, Bash University Live.